Hello, I'm Dr. Jester, and welcome to the jungle. Right, so from Jerusalem Post, IDF says a 4-year-old Gazan sent by Hamas to the military posting security zone. The IDF noted troops had returned the boy to the Gaza Strip in coordination with international organizations. Here is the thing that we have to point out, and this is something that needs to be very clear. Hamas tends to use civilians, civilians, to actually shield themselves for their actions. As in, they like to store weapons, they like to do, attacks on IDF and everywhere else behind the cover of civilians, because they know Israel will try not to attack and only do so if there is real danger going on. And they can, if Israel does that, they can use it as propaganda. And we have seen this happening on TV because people have been gobbling up like they are, thirsty for some big, gigantic C-word. And they do it, and they lick it, they suck it, they do everything with it. Even in the media. For instance, in Syria, you can see that they died 1,500 civilians. They were able to differentiate civilians from combatants, but for some reason, some actual reason, they cannot do that when Hamas reports the numbers. They just parrot it out and doesn't even quote Israel. They don't even show that one of the lowest civilian terrorists, YouTube, death ratio ever. But they don't show that, because it's all about the message. Well, it does kind of prove wrong what the neo-Nazis say, that the Jews control the media, which is complete and total BS. Yeah, their conspiracy theories are just absurd. But anyway, before I continue, here is a trailer. Alright. So, I'm not surprised that they actually did send a kid there, because they know that if there's any landmines, etc., the kid would get hurt and they could blame Israel. Or that they could see the kid and they would shoot it, they could then blame Israel and use that as a propaganda piece, because a lot of people just swallows it up. Especially because all of this land belonged to Jews and still belongs to them. And they have been there for, millennia, even longer than that. But the problem is that many of the pro-terrorists don't seem to realize, or they don't understand history. They don't really care about it because it's all about the emotional appeal that they seem to be using. It's all about emotions for them, and they do not seem to care about facts. For instance, they like to use the name West Bank, when in fact it literally says Judea and Samaria. They are trying to erase the Jewish claim of the lands, because Jordan was literally created for the Palestinians. And The West Bank is a reference to Jordan, because Jordan would be considered the East Bank and the West Bank. See? That's why they're trying to use it. And you can see with the flag. The Palestinians didn't have a flag before, and it was actually Jordanian. They would use the Jordanian flag. But the Jordanians decided to, okay, after the Black September and things like that happening, I think it's better for us to kind of separate our identity. So they added a little asterisk that looks like a bit of a butthole into their flag. That's how things work. And every single time that the Palestinians, they try to take their refugees, the Palestinian refugees, which are not, since many of them are actually Egyptians, Syrians, etc., they tend to cause trouble. Look what happened in Lebanon. Now they are controlled by Hezbollah. Look what happened to Kuwait when they showed support for Saddam Hussein when they invaded Kuwait back in the 90s. All of them ended up getting deported. Yeah. Look at Egypt, the creation of Muslim Brotherhood. Yeah. They don't seem to go very well along. Or, once they decided after the defeats of the Arab armies that Jordan, okay, fine, we'll take it in. Some of our citizens, well, they caused the Black September. It seems to be a consistent problem, considering that they have no culture of their own. Well, besides the idea of eliminating Israel, that's basically all they got. Even their kafir, which you could potentially say it's theirs, no, it's actually Iraqi, from Iraq. Fishermen from Iraq. Yeah. It doesn't seem to go very well, does it? Yeah. So basically, covering up all the lies, as you can see here, they then took the kid back into Gaza itself by the IDF forces and the coordination with international organizations. And here, the interesting bit is that the child said he was sent there by Hamas. You can see how absolutely bad these people are, and how they operate, and how they cause problems. It's just evil. Just evil by these people. So, with that being said, have a cheery bye.